Hey, welcome back to another Myrtle Beach market update. And of course, in these updates, I always want to share the most important metrics and the numbers that are going on in the market to help you make the best decisions on your properties. So, of course, right now we're talking about the April numbers and overall saw some really positive signs, primarily with new pendings in both parts of our market, both residential and condos. And just as a quick reminder, these numbers are always just resales, not the new construction that kind of muddies the waters and doesn't give a clear, accurate picture. So let's jump in real quick and talk first about the residential sales. So new listings in April were down compared to same time last year, but new pendings were actually up double digits, which means we're kind of absorbing some of that extra inventory that's been out there, even though the residential inventory has been fairly balanced. When we had fewer new listings this year and the pendings were up, that's always a good sign. Pendings now end up in closings in the future. So we should see that reflection of an increase in closings over the next couple of months. Now, pricing, average and median pricing was essentially flat for the sales that we did have in April compared to last year. But here's something that's really interesting. The average sale price increased in April almost 4%. Okay, so where sellers are listing their homes went up, and at the same time, the average and median closed sale price has been flat. So when you think about that, the seller audience tends to try to squeeze as much out of every property. That's what we as agents are doing when we're listing and marketing properties. But when that list price is going up in a market where the prices aren't going up, it's reflected in a couple of things, primarily the time on market. And if you look on the information that I send in the email, you'll see that months supply has dropped, but the days on market is actually bumped up a little bit. So pricing strategy, it just continues to be really, really important. And while sellers are still getting good sale prices, it seems like they're trying to maybe price outside of where the market and then come down later, which is a fine strategy if timing isn't important. But with the average days on market pushing a little over 3 months right now, for a lot of sellers, they're expecting to be able to price it higher and sell sooner, and that's where the disconnect comes in. So strategy in terms of pricing is really, really important still. Now with condos, new listings were down, which kind of mirrored what was happening in the residential market. And pendings were also up. Now, listen to this. New pendings for condos in April were up almost 37% compared to last year. So what's that tell us? Well, it tells us the buyers are in the market for condos. And while there's still a significant amount of inventory, we're still sitting on about 8 months of supply. The buyers are starting to find the kind of the price point where it makes sense to them to buy. And so there are new condos going under contract at the same time where sellers are balancing their motivation to sell with market values. So if when you understand that there are buyers out there, then it's just a matter of, well, what is the value of my property? And am I a seller if that's the value? In the past, go back to the end of 2022 and 23 and 24, it was kind of almost, trying to find where those buyers would buy at. And as prices have come down in some of the condo categories, specifically on the oceanfront, now we've gotten to that point where now buyers and sellers are agreeing more on the values. And so we're seeing the deals come together, hence the increase in the new pendings. So most important takeaways for you as an owner: buyer activity is up in both categories, residential and condos, but it's really, really important to understand first, what's your goal in terms of time frame to be able to sell, and then get a marketing and pricing strategy that's going to help you reach that goal, as opposed to just putting it out on the market and hoping or wanting to be able to be sold in 60 to 90 days, but the strategy on the pricing or the marketing is actually taking 6, 7, 8 months. So if you'd like something more detailed for your condo building, your neighborhood, your residential community, feel free to reach out to me and I can really dial into what's happening in that specific market as opposed to just kind of the global look. But good positive signs that I think will show up in the next few months in the closings as well. So thanks for always allowing me to be your real estate resource here along the Grand Strand. And let me know if there's anything more detailed that I can get you for your community. Talk to you very soon. Thanks.